Hello, I'm Annabelle Beckwith, and I want to talk today about consciously creating your company's culture. Now, if you're a business owner and your business is poised for growth, there are three reasons why I think you really need to know this. The first is, in the battle between your strategy and your company culture will win each and every time. The second thing is, research has shown that having a positive culture leads to high performance and higher productivity, and not the other way round. And by the way, when we talk about a positive culture, this isn't some esoteric, airy-fairy thing that's difficult to pin down. There are specific things, research things that are happening within a positive culture that leads to that high performance. And the third thing, again, according to research, is that a positive culture will increase the value of your company. So three reasons why it's important for business owners to know this. Now, as you're looking to consciously create your company culture, there are three things to bear in mind. Define your culture, align your culture, and refine your culture. So let's start with defining your culture. Your culture isn't just what you say it is, it's what it actually is. That's a really important point. When you're looking to define your culture, you don't just look to the mission statements, to the value statements, you look at what is actually happening in real life. So just by way of example, let's consider culture in the broadest possible terms, in terms of country culture. And by the way, you can do this with any country in the world. I'm going to focus on Scotland because that's where I am. With any culture, there's going to be the glossy tourist brochure guide version, which is what we want to talk about and what we want to celebrate. So in Scotland, it might be the history and the culture, the beautiful landscape, the music, the tartan, the clan structure, all really positive things that we want to talk about when we're promoting the culture of Scotland. On the other hand, though, there's also things like inner city poverty, binge drinking as a culture amongst young people, and sadly, these are also part of who we are as a country. Now, why am I pointing this out? Well, because within your own organisation, there's going to be the positive culture that you want to celebrate and you want to take forward. There will, in all probability, also be things that are happening in your company culture that are not useful, that are not productive, and that you may well want to leave behind. So there's the thing. When you are looking to define your company culture, it's really, really important to do so with brutal honesty. When you're defining your culture, of course, you're not just looking at where you are now, you're looking at where do you want to be? What is the culture that you want to see in your organisation? It's almost like you're designing your ideal culture. And as a business owner, you might want to do this yourself or start the process of designing that culture yourself. You will probably also want to involve other people in that particular discussion. So the define stage is very much about assessing where are you now? Really, where are you? Not where you think you are, but where you actually are, and where is it that you want to be in terms of your company culture moving forward. Then we move on to the second phase, which is the align phase. This is where you are aligning your current practices towards that new culture. What is it that you're actually doing to move towards that? And you're going to be doing two things. One is going to be in terms of the behaviours that you are encouraging and that you want to see in that new culture. The behaviours of your staff and your team, also your own behaviours, because as a business owner and a business leader, you will be role modelling this very much. So behaviour is going to be a big part of it. So too are your processes and your systems and your structures. Are your processes and systems and your infrastructure actually helping to move you towards that new culture, that new goal, or are they keeping you in the old culture that you want to move away from? So that's the align stage. The refine stage, that third phase, is very much an ongoing process because culture grows and adapts and changes. It doesn't stay static. Now, maybe that is a statement of the obvious, but it's important to grasp this and recognise this and to make sure that you have, as part of your ongoing processes and systems, some kind of barometer, some kind of way of measuring what your cultural temperature is, as it were, to ensure that you are refining that culture as you move forward. Refining it in the interests of your customers, refining it in the interests of your staff, and refining it in the interest of making sure that you maintain a positive company culture that is going to ensure that your strategy is delivered, that your team is productive, and that your company retains and builds its value.